Welcome to the Global Wired, bringing you the latest news from around the world. The Philippines stands at a critical juncture, a moment in its history where the choices made today will echo for generations to come. The nation is brimming with potential, its cities alive with energy and ambition, but it is also hampered by a major infrastructure deficit that threatens to hold back its progress. Across the archipelago, roads are clogged with traffic, ports are strained under the weight of growing trade, and digital highways lag behind, leaving millions disconnected from the global economy. Into this gap steps China, offering billions of dollars in investment through its ambitious Belt and Road Initiative, or BRI, a sweeping plan to connect Asia and beyond through infrastructure. This offer promises rapid modernization, new roads, bridges, and digital networks rising seemingly overnight, but it also brings with it complex geopolitical and economic implications that cannot be ignored. Manila's decision at this crossroads will shape not just its physical infrastructure, but its strategic posture and international relationships for decades to come. For over 115 million Filipinos, better infrastructure isn't just about convenience. It means shorter commutes, more reliable electricity, and faster internet. These are the essentials that fuel economic progress, create jobs, and improve daily life for families across the country. China's proposal promises to fast-track development, offering not only capital, but also technical expertise and project management that other partners may be slower or more hesitant to provide. The allure of new bridges, modern railways, and advanced telecommunications is powerful for a nation eager to rise and compete on the world stage, to finally close the gap with its neighbors. Yet the BRI has faced global scrutiny, with headlines questioning its true costs and long-term impact on participating countries. Critics warn of so-called debt trap diplomacy, where nations risk becoming beholden to Beijing through unsustainable loans and opaque agreements. Concerns also include transparency in contracts, fair labor practices for local workers, and the environmental standards of these massive projects, issues that have sparked debate and protest. For the Philippines, these are immediate and pressing considerations, not distant warnings. The choices made now will affect communities, livelihoods, and the nation's future. The nation must carefully weigh the promise of rapid progress against the potential cost to its sovereignty, independence, and long-term economic health. This is not just an economic transaction, it's a strategic alignment with profound and lasting consequences for the country's place in the world. In this series, we'll analyze the implications of the Philippines' growing economic partnership with China, looking at both the opportunities and the challenges. We'll explore the nation's urgent infrastructure needs, the BRI's potential benefits, and the significant risks that come with such large-scale foreign investment. We'll also place this decision within the broader geopolitical context, especially regarding the Philippines' long-standing alliance with the United States and its evolving role in the region. The central question remains: how can Manila maximize the benefits of Chinese engagement while safeguarding its independence, ensuring that progress does not come at the expense of its sovereignty or future generations? The Philippines' infrastructure gap is one of the most pressing challenges facing the nation today. This gap acts as a major brake on the country's economic potential, slowing growth and limiting opportunities for millions. Decades of underinvestment have left roads, ports, and airports struggling to keep up with a rapidly growing population and expanding cities. According to the Asian Development Bank, the country needs a staggering $184 billion in infrastructure investment by 2030 just to meet basic needs and support future growth. In Metro Manila alone, traffic congestion is so severe that it costs the economy an estimated $70 million every single day, draining productivity and time. The need for improvement spans across transportation, energy, water supply, and digital connectivity, touching every aspect of daily life for Filipinos. Poor infrastructure not only deepens inequality and isolates entire regions, but also increases vulnerability to natural disasters, making recovery and development even harder. Over the years, successive governments have launched ambitious programs to address these gaps, but the scale of investment needed often exceeds what the country can provide on its own. Public funds remain limited, and while private sector participation is crucial, it can often be slow to materialize or insufficient to meet the demand. This is where China's offer becomes especially attractive, bringing vast capital and technical expertise, and promising to deliver results quickly and efficiently. For a government under immense pressure to deliver visible results, Beijing's partnership is hard to ignore, offering hope for faster progress. But this deeper engagement with China also brings new complexities and risks, raising questions about sovereignty, debt, and long-term consequences. The stage is set for a pivotal decision, one that could shape the nation's future for generations to come. China's Belt and Road Initiative, often referred to as the BRI, is widely considered one of the most ambitious and far-reaching infrastructure projects in modern history. Its scale and scope are unprecedented, aiming to reshape global trade and economic landscapes. Launched in 2013, the BRI's primary goal is to connect Asia, Africa, and Europe through massive investments in railways, ports, highways, and other critical infrastructure. By improving connectivity, China hopes to boost trade, stimulate economic growth, and foster closer international cooperation. To date, over 150 countries and international organizations have signed on to the initiative, seeking much-needed financing for vital infrastructure projects that might otherwise be out of reach. Proponents highlight successful projects like the China-Laos Railway, which has improved regional connectivity, and Greece's Piraeus port, now a major shipping hub, as examples of the BRI's positive impact. However, critics warn of so-called debt trap diplomacy, where countries that struggle to repay Chinese loans may risk losing control over key national assets, raising concerns about sovereignty and long-term economic stability. Sri Lanka's Hambantota port, which was leased to China after the country defaulted on its debt, is often cited as a cautionary tale and a warning for others considering similar deals. Transparency is another major concern, as many BRI agreements are negotiated behind closed doors, making it difficult for the public and stakeholders to fully understand the terms and long-term implications. Critics also point to the heavy reliance on Chinese labor, which can limit local job creation, and to environmental issues such as deforestation and pollution that sometimes accompany large-scale construction. These ongoing debates and controversies continue to shape the global conversation around the BRI, influencing how countries and communities perceive its risks and rewards. For the Philippines, understanding these complex dynamics and weighing both the opportunities and challenges is crucial before deciding how to engage with the Belt and Road Initiative moving forward. China's investment footprint in the Philippines has grown, especially in infrastructure. Projects like the Chico River pump irrigation and new bridges in Manila are tangible symbols of this partnership. Chinese capital has also entered telecommunications, online gaming, real estate, and manufacturing. These investments inject much-needed capital, create jobs, and can transfer technology. However, concerns persist about loan terms, reliance on Chinese labor, and environmental impacts. Critics worry about high interest rates and opaque conditions that could lead to debt traps. Social and regulatory challenges have emerged, especially in sectors like online gaming. The benefits are real, but so are the risks. The Philippines must carefully manage these investments to maximize gains and minimize pitfalls. The partnership's future depends on striking this balance. The U.S.-Philippines alliance is one of Asia's oldest, anchored by the 1951 Mutual Defense Treaty. Regular joint military exercises and deep economic ties reinforce this partnership. The U.S. is a major trading partner and investor, especially in business process outsourcing. Strong people-to-people connections further bind the two nations. As the Philippines deepens economic ties with China, it faces a delicate balancing act. Washington worries that Chinese influence could weaken security partnerships. For Manila, the challenge is to leverage both relationships without alienating either side. This requires sophisticated diplomacy and a clear focus on national interests. The stakes are high in this evolving regional landscape. Chinese investment offers the Philippines a chance to accelerate infrastructure development and economic growth. New projects can connect rural communities, create jobs, and transfer technology. Diversifying economic partners reduces over-reliance on traditional allies, but the risks are significant: unsustainable debt, loss of economic sovereignty, and environmental harm. Chinese loans can come with high interest rates and opaque terms. If projects underperform, the country could face a fiscal crisis. Strategic assets like ports and telecoms raise national security concerns. Environmental and social safeguards are essential to prevent harm to communities and ecosystems. The Philippines must rigorously vet projects and demand transparency. The challenge is to seize opportunities without sacrificing long-term interests. Every deal must be weighed with the nation's future in mind. The Philippines is caught between the U.S. and China, its treaty ally and its largest trading partner. Economic engagement with China is essential for development, but comes amid tensions in the South China Sea. Over-reliance on either power carries risks: entanglement in great power rivalry or loss of sovereignty. The optimal strategy is diversification, building ties with multiple partners like Japan, Australia, and the EU. Manila must carefully vet investments, insist on transparency, and uphold high standards. At the same time, it must strengthen its defense and reaffirm its U.S. alliance. The gold draw benefits from all, yield to none on sovereignty. This complex balancing act will shape the nation's future. Success depends on clear-eyed, consistent leadership. Sovereignty today is about more than borders, it's about economic and digital independence. Chinese investment in critical infrastructure gives Beijing influence, sometimes subtly shaping policy. The West Philippine Sea dispute highlights the paradox: economic partnership with a strategic challenger. Digital infrastructure like 5G networks raises new security concerns. Protecting sovereignty means robust oversight, transparency, and diversified suppliers. The Philippines must invest in its own defense and regulatory capacity. True sovereignty is a dynamic capability, defended through smart governance and unwavering commitment to national interests. The Philippines faces a pivotal choice: embrace Chinese investment for rapid development, or risk debt and diminish sovereignty. The benefits, modern infrastructure, jobs, growth, are real, but so are the risks. Ongoing disputes in the West Philippine Sea and the U.S. alliance complicate the equation. The challenge is to engage both giants without becoming a pawn. Pragmatic, diversified partnerships and strong domestic institutions are key. The nation's future depends on vigilance, transparency, and a steadfast focus on the Filipino people's well-being. The defining question: can the Philippines harness Chinese investment to build its future without mortgaging its independence?